What's up guys, Jamjar here, 50,000 subscribers, I can't believe this, insane. I've gotten to know so many of you since a year ago, it's only fair I let you all get to know me a little bit better. So today I'm going to draw my life for you up to this very second, using beautiful Microsoft Paint. Don't judge! So I was born on the 28th of August 1986, around about 7 PM. I was named by my parents as James, not Jam, actually it was James. I was their second son, but I was a fat baby, over 8 pounds actually. 8 pounds something, I'm not sure exactly what, but yeah, sorry mum. I was a troubled child, cried a lot, demanded even more, had a strange addiction to sausages, but I couldn't talk quite yet, so I used to call them bossages when I was hungry. Nothing much has changed since then. I went to primary school and I found my second love. Video games. I had a Commodore 64 that I played when my mum would allow. Used to take all night to load a frickin' game. The addiction began. Every day at school I couldn't wait to get home and play more. One day my favourite game cassette got chewed up inside the cassette loader. I cried. I cried a lot. This led me to playing outside and growing up like we used to. Playing football and climbing trees. I lived in a great neighbourhood and had some great friends. I was happy growing up. I visited a friend's one day and he had a Nintendo. I had no idea what it was. We played Super Mario and Duck Hunt. My passion was reborn. I snuck into his room when our families were downstairs conversing, but I didn't know how to change a cartridge inside the machine. I would cut my fingers every time I tried to change the game. It was worth it. I soon got myself a Super Nintendo for my 10th birthday. My parents bought me over 10 games of it. It's one of the best days of my life. I still remember it really well now. I completed all the games I had over and over but couldn't afford new ones. They were so expensive and this was new tech, so I took matters into my own hands to feed my addiction by changing the price tags on them so I could afford them. Sorry Looney Tunes Sports, you were worth the crime I'm afraid. My dad worked hard to provide for my family and I rarely saw him up to this point other than vacations. Mainly Florida sunbathing or Canada skiing. I was a really fortunate kid to have such great parents working hard for me. I visited a lot of the world growing up and I was happy about that. The end of my primary school life was great. I became popular, funny, I got my first girlfriend, she almost held my hand once. Life was perfect. I went to high school after that summer and everything had changed. The people that liked me suddenly wouldn't talk to me, I was unpopular and alone. Suddenly, I began to become a lot more quiet and introverted. I made new friends, found release through heavy music and skateboarding. I wasn't unpopular, but I wasn't popular. Kids can be so cruel at school, and that's something I always hated, something I wanted to stop. Years went by like this and I became more introverted and less like the class clown I was supposed to be. My friends began smoking and taking drugs at school. Whilst I didn't join in, I knew I needed a fresh start. So I was kind of alone again, escaping to video games every night. In my last year of high school, I had very few friends. I took it upon myself to stand up to bullies that were bullying others, and I made a name for myself. I made a lot of friends this way actually, even if it did end up in a lot of detentions. I still wasn't a happy fun guy I knew I should be when I left high school for college, but I was just happy to leave. I was nervous turning up to my first day at college, but everyone was nice. I reinvented myself as no one really knew me there, and I gradually became the happy clown I always knew I should have been. Cracking jokes and getting into mischief, I really found my stride at college. People used to tell me that I should be a stand-up comedian, but I studied for 4 years in computer hardware and programming instead, like the fucking jerk-off I am. I spent all my time surfing with my friends, playing my PC, working my first job. It was at a shop, selling model railways no less. I discovered alcohol and girls soon after, and moved away from skateboarding and breaking my ankles. I quit that job by writing in black marker on a giant yellow post-it note, "Dear darling Terry, I won't be working here anymore, kiss kiss kiss." I hope he lolled. I took half a year out after this to relax and think about my next step in life. My family bothered me every day to get a job, but all I wanted to do was play video games. I was the happiest I've ever been at that point. I was big into Gears of War on Xbox 360 and was playing competitively. I didn't lose a game for a month and a half at one point, and I always played as Baird, the smart ass, know-it-all with the attitude. Go figure. I eventually lost the game one night and I threw my controller at a wall and it exploded into a dozen pieces. I still have it to remind me what a dick I can be sometimes. I didn't play competitively ever again and took a year away from all video games and partied all the time instead. I landed a job developing software and began as a junior. I made a lot of good friends quickly, but was stressed a lot with the challenge of it all. A lot was expected of me very quickly, and until this point, my life had a pause button and checkpoints if things went wrong. I grew to love my job. I always wanted to be involved with video games as my career. I applied and interviewed at a lot of gaming companies, but it was virtually impossible to get a job at them. Everyone wanted to do it. Years went by at this job as I moved up the ranks and worked a while in California doing so. I loved it there, but it became too confusing living half my life there and half my life here. Ended up staying in the UK. In 2012 I began my first ever YouTube channel. It was of remote control cars that me and my friends used to race. I videoed it on a GoPro camera and edited it all to music. Towards the end of 2013 I got straight back into PC gaming with Battlefield 4, recording a lot of clips to make a new gaming channel. It was to be my New Year's resolution for 2014. I've been watching DayZ mod videos all year and was really intrigued by the game and how people treated each other. I logged into Steam on December 16th to see DayZ on the front page. It was release day! I immediately bought and played it. Little did I know this would change my future forever. I recorded my own gameplay and began to make my own nerdy videos and post them on Reddit. The response was so much bigger than my previous channel. Every time I released a video it was like an adrenaline rush for how it would be received. I was addicted to the game and the channel quickly, and I never played Battlefield ever again. I had varying success in videos through late January and February until I had friends over for a usual weekend LAN. I dreamt up the social experiment, we did our usual pizza and beer evening, and I recorded it. I edited and uploaded the first video that night and went to sleep. I was woken up at the crack of noon by my phone buzzing like crazy. I picked it up to find 2,000 notifications. My stomach dropped. I knew something had happened. I was on the front page of Reddit and the video was a huge hit. I gained over 1,000 subscribers in a few hours, so I did what any self-respecting man would do. I went down the pub and drank all day. From then on, everything changed for me. I had gained notoriety, my channel continued to grow from every video. I started playing with other YouTubers who I was a fan of and I couldn't believe my luck. Recording and editing with my job became a difficult balance. I would sleep 3 to 4 hours most nights to get content out and I was burning the candle at both ends. Eventually the channel kept growing and growing and I realised it could become my job. I began live streaming on Twitch and quickly realised the support was so much bigger than I had anticipated and handed in my notice immediately. This one didn't have kisses on though. Everyone looked perplexed when I told them why I was leaving. You can make money from video games? I served my last few weeks of the 6 years there and as sad as it was, I was excited to say goodbye. August 1st was to be my first full-time day. I was nervous but determined. Now having the time to do videos on YouTube as well as live stream on Twitch, it was my dream come true. My job in video games I had chased and never could obtain was finally in my hands and was more real than I could have ever hoped. 4 months later, I can honestly say that I've never been happier. I'm living my dream every day I wake up and it's thanks to you if you're watching this. I know this won't last forever, but I've always said, if you're not dying to live, then you're living to die.